because um this past Tuesday afternoon, I forgot to push record. And so that has happened a couple of times and I hate it. It makes me feel like it didn't really happen, but class did happen. But anyway, it's recording. I feel like I always have so much to talk about and I learn so much and I want to share things and connections I make with Tai Chi and other things. And so just to help make our minds grow through our journey with Tai Chi. Good morning, Miss Gwen. I'm sorry I wasn't trying to ignore you. But two things. Okay, so I talked last week about deep breathing and like those words of affirmation. And Lance, you shared the words blessings and fear, breathing in blessings, pushing away fear through diaphragmatic breathing. And so I've been sharing that. I shared that on my Tuesday class, but I revisited the deep breathing article and something else popped out, and that was telomeres. Gwen, you probably already heard me say this on Tuesday. I lose track of where I said everything I've said. But telomeres, do y'all know what telomeres are? Well, you're not born knowing that kind of stuff, so it's okay if you don't know. But there are, I have been to Dr. Lamb. Okay, so Dr. Lamb is the person who wrote this program. And I have been to his workshop twice. And so some of the things that I share with y'all come directly from him, particularly breathing or moving from your dantian. That was something that he shared that I'm still trying to put my head around. But another thing is about telomeres. Now, telomeres are on our chromosomes, okay? They're the cap on our chromosomes. And if that's not exactly the scientific explanation, just excuse me. Follow me on this. As we age, our telomeres get shorter, 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 smaller, smaller, right? And so as they get smaller, then we gradually lose life. So they're the smallest and shortest when we pass. It has been proven that Tai Chi helps grow and or slow the shrinking of our telomeres. It's not proven that Tai Chi lengthens life, but we can infer that from the telomeres either growing or not shrinking at a quicker rate, that there's definitely a relationship between the two, right? Well, in this article, it also talks about telomeres and meditation, and that meditation alongside diaphragmatic breathing also affects the telomeres, and it relates it to having a positive impact on aging and longevity. So we're doing great things here with Tai Chi. We are increasing the life in our life, right? So it's just something to think about, something you may not have known before. I didn't know, I never even heard of a telomere until Dr. Lamb told us that. And then when I read it again in this article, I was just like, whoa, cool. Every time I see the word telomere, I'm like, I know what that is. That's interesting, because I saw it again in a article about sleep and how important sleep is, and lack of sleep can affect your telomeres too. So as we know, when we sleep, our bodies recover from the day, all the environmental impacts. And so that's why sleep is so important. And so it makes sense, right, that if we aren't getting good sleep, that it can affect our longevity and negatively affect our aging. So Tai Chi, one of the benefits is that it helps improve our sleep quality. So you see where we're going, how important Tai Chi is with life and longevity. So that makes us feel, again, not promoted, it encouraged to keep doing our Tai Chi. So I'm going to start walking around warming up instead of just standing there and talking, and tell you another thing I want to tell y'all. And this came from my daughter. So, you know how in Tai Chi we talk about core and tightening your core, moving from your core. And I always mention that straw that pokes out from my belly button, and thinking about that straw moving from side to side with the strength of my core. And within my core, deep in behind my belly button, that's my dantian. And so we're moving from that, but it's our core that we're tightening as we move. How important is our core to balance? Tai Chi helps us with balance. Tai Chi encourages us to move and from our core, and to tighten our core as we move. Well, yesterday in school, I can't remember, I think it was algebra class. They had a substitute teacher, and they were done with their work. So they started doing stuff like arm wrestling competitions and push-up competitions. And then my daughter, y'all know she's a dancer, right? So, you know, whenever they do all those turns, like 400 turns in a row, what do they have to do? Squeeze their core. So you know how often that child is squeezing and utilizing her core in dance. So the competition she came up with in her algebra class was, can anybody here do a pistol? Now, do y'all know what a pistol is? I'm not going to do it. You do?
Yeah, unfortunately I do. There's no way I could do one now. No.
No, I can't. I'm not even going to try, because I'm going on a trip. I don't have time to go to a doctor, because I know I'll probably fall. As strong as I think I am, I don't even want to try it. So, but what you do, I can hold on to the wall, but you put one leg out, and you can squat all the way down and squat all the way up with one leg extended. Do you know no one else in her class, not a softball player, not a baseball player, not any boy who thinks they're so strong could do that pistol except her? And you know what she said when she got in the car? She said, they don't understand the importance of core strength and its relationship to balance. And I go, I talk about core in our Tai Chi class, and that's what we're doing. Now, we're not doing pistols. Don't worry, that is not our goal. But how cool is that she said it? She said, they don't understand. She said, I tell Patrick, which is my son, all the time, you have got to strengthen your core. And he won't listen to me.
There's no cheerleaders in the class?
I guess not. This is a 9th grade class, and trying to think who is a 9th. The other 9th grade cheerleaders are not in honors, just FYI.
Understood. Usually cheerleaders are just like pound for pound some of your strongest athletes.
Yes, and but she is so athletic, and you tell her that dance is you know, not a sport of sort, and she just has full respect for the athleticism that goes into dance and cheer. She's done a little bit of that cheer where she was a base and had to throw the flyers in the air. She's done a little bit of that, but ultimately she's a dancer. And the sideline cheer doesn't do that. Like GHSA doesn't allow stunts in sideline cheer, only in competition cheer. So y'all learned about GHSA rules too today.
I know way more about GHSA than I ever want to know.
I imagine. Good gracious. I don't know how many times we've had to consult the manual, not me personally, but coaches during games for different rules and all. I'm always glad that somebody else knows what's on page 12, paragraph 2, and I never had to know. But anyway, do y'all have anything to share? Because I blabbermouthed y'all for 10 minutes.
Nope.
Okay. Well, it can be related to what I said. It can be unrelated to Tai Chi or anything that we're here to do. But I like to get to know y'all. I like for y'all to share what goes on in y'all's world. That being in a virtual setting, you have to kind of make that important to be able to connect with your people. And that's just how you do it, is you share things that are outside of class. It'd be awful to come to class every time and feel like you had a robot teacher that didn't know that you were Lance and you were Miss Gwen and where you lived and things that y'all have done and take time to get to know you and share. So I try to make an effort, even if I am a big blabbermouth. All right, here we go. Let's go start with our warm up, starting with our neck. Of course, we're in our stable stance, good posture, relaxed shoulders. We're breathing. I can attempt to slow down because I think I just got real excited. So when I get excited, I get faster. So slow down. Check my heart rate. Let's see what I've gotten it up to. 104. I got to 104. Miss Gwen, I don't know if you were in here whenever I said I'm going to Columbus today, and my son is driving up from Cuthbert. So my family of 4 will be together this weekend. So that's one reason why I'm just so excited and about life right now, because we're not together enough. I'm so excited.
The family time is so important.
Mm-hmm. And all these years of watching Patrick play baseball, and I don't get to watch him play now because he's far away and his just doesn't work with my schedule. And I still follow the high school team. I listen to their games 3 times a week on the radio. I don't go because I'm glad to be at home in my pajamas doing it. But it has just made me miss him extra this baseball season. Roll our shoulders. And then when he comes home, I graciously share him with his girlfriend and his friends. So it's not always just us, but this weekend it is.
Great.
He's already asked if there was a Fogo de Chao in Columbus. I don't know if y'all know what Fogo de Chao is, but it's a restaurant that they just bring you all the meat you could possibly want to eat in your whole life. Chicken, pork, beef, lamb, and different cuts. And they just keep bringing it and keep bringing it and keep bringing it.
Is it Brazilian?
Yes.
Brazilian? Yeah. We have they're called Rodigios up here.
Okay. Well, I'll just type in Brazilian Steakhouse Columbus and see what they have. Surely they have something.
If there's soldiers around, there's meat.
Well, that was what Patrick said. Is there a Fogo de Chao in Columbus? Because if you got a teenager, you're gonna feed their face.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's usually one of the only questions we ask is, when you come home, is there anything you want us to cook? Because living in Cuthbert, there's not a lot of choices, and cafeteria food, I'm certain, gets old.
Oh yeah.
And he usually asks for steak. He'll usually say something like, if you want to bless me with some steak. stretching that spine.
I could do this all day.
I was just thinking that, Miss Gwen. I was like, I think I'm stuck here on this stretch. I don't know how many I've done, but I felt like I just kept going, oh, that feels so good. Let's do one more. My shoulders and back are tight and sore. And that felt good. I hadn't been too long. I've left the gym where I did a really big yoga stretch, and it still wasn't enough. I don't think we can stretch our muscles enough.
Especially as you're aging. Yeah.
They call it getting stove up. You get stove up real easy.
Mm.
I'm tightening my core there as I go side to side. Now for our hips, shifting weight to one leg. I did hear from Miss Sharita that she wasn't going to join us today. She's okay.
Good.
She's a nurse, and so she still does nursing things.
Mm.
Even though she's retired, she serves her community, like taking people to the doctor and stuff like that. She's a voice for people.
Oh, that's great.
I just think that's so cool.
Yeah.
Lifting weight side to side. Hands going in the direction of the weight shift. You hear my coworker laughing. I love to hear people laugh. One time I was, or not I, but we here at the office, we were hiring a new person, and they were going to be working with me specifically part of their time. And so they let me pretend that I was the secretary so that whenever all the people came for their interview, I was kind of like their pre-interview. I just was there talking to them, trying to make them feel comfortable before their interview, pretending I was the secretary. Well, this one girl, and this was 17 years ago. This one girl, you know, she was from Australia and she had a funny accent. And she went into her interview, and I swear she laughed the whole time. I never knew anybody could laugh so much in an interview. And whenever she got done, I went in there and she left. I went in there and I was like, I want her. I want her. Well, she is still my best friend to this day. So we hired her and it was a lot of the reason why is because she just laughed. She is still very joyful. But after she was hired, she was like, wait a minute, you're not the secretary. Just never know when you go into an interview, do you?
Yeah. She lives in Evans, Georgia, which is near Augusta now. So she doesn't still work here. Mm.
Her husband is a nuclear engineer, and he went up there to work at the plant. And that's why she was in Baxley, because we have
a nuclear plant here. Plant Hatch is what's in Baxley. Trying to think what it's called in Augusta area.
That's
Plant.
the bomb plant there.
What's it
Or
called?
is that Vogel or the bomb
Oh.
plant?
I think it's Vogel. Yeah, Vogel.
Yeah, I'm a Georgia Power alumni too. My grandfather, my father, and before I went to college, I worked for Georgia Power.
Cool. What did you do for them?
I was in supply, materials, excuse me, materials.
For distribution or for the plant?
Power generation, at Plant Hammond,
Okay.
which is no longer there.
I was
I
getting
mean-
ready to ask where that is.
It was in out west of Rome, and
Huh.
in the last year they've totally. I mean, it was exciting watching the big stacks come down when they blew those up, but they totally. You know, my dad and I eat lunch with him every day. We drive by, and he's like, "I still can't believe it's gone."
Wow. And you said it's called Hammond or was called Hammond?
All was Plant Hammond.
My husband works for Georgia Power. He's a foreman for Highline Construction crew. And
I started out. I started out as a switchman, but the first time I had to work with a train in a thunderstorm, I decided I'd switch over to materials.
Ooh, yeah, that had to be stressful. Well, you know how high in the air the work my husband does do. Not quite.
Yes.
I mean, they don't do the helicopter work, but he'll be at home and he'll be climbing in the trees and using the chainsaw, and I'll be like, "Okay, that's high enough. That's high enough." And he'll say, "What do you think I do at work?" I said, "I know, but I don't have to see it there." All right, we ready to go. I'm gonna turn around and we will go.
Jennifer,
Sorry.
could you spot yourself? Could you
What's that?
put the spotlight on?
Spotlight.
Yeah.
Like more light.
No, like on Zoom, so the
Oh, oh,
camera
oh, oh, oh.
switching.
I was getting ready to go get a light.
Yeah, each
Remove pin. Now I have
when
spotlight.
Gwen or I speak, it puts us up. It rearranges it. So
Thank you for telling me that. Whenever it's one person in the class, it won't allow me to choose spotlight. So before Gwen was here, I pinned myself. So once Gwen got here, I forgot that I needed to do it. So thank you for the reminder. And I really was trying to figure out where I was going to go find a spotlight right quick. I'm like, I think we have one downstairs in the closet. All right, so I should be good now. Yeah, I'm on spotlight now. Very good. Thank you, Lance. Okay, here we go. Hold on, I gotta get this dot off the floor before it drives me crazy. All right, here we go. Part 1, basic 6 and advanced 6, all the way through, calling out the names of the movements. And commence. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds.
close. Advance 6. Brush knee. Play the loop. Carry punch. Lock and close. Push the tiger. Open, close. Brush knee. Play the loop. Carry punch. Lock and close. Push the tiger. Open, close. Close it out. And again. Commence. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open, close. Brush knee. What did I just do?
We gotta go that way.
Okay, I'm in the right, I'm at the right spot, right? I'm at brush knee going to the left.
I
Okay.
think, did we do cloud hands to the left?
Now I'm doing clouds to the left.
I think so.
I don't know where my brain went. My brain just went.
It happens.
Did I just did push the tiger or no?
Yeah,
Did I just finish basics?
you were on advance, but you didn't do the second part. We can go back. We can go back to the beginning.
Let's finish our basic or our advanced 6. No, I have no words. Okay, here we go. Open and close. Advance 6 to the left. Brush knee. Play the loop. Parry punch. Lock and close. Push the tiger to the front. Open, close. I was thinking about how on Tuesday we tried to do mirror image advanced 6 movements. That's where my brain like went for a second there, and thinking how that didn't end up being a good thing. Let's do our basics or our advanced 6 both ways. So let me take some deep breaths. Skipping our basic 6 and just doing advanced. Remember, we go to the left first and then we go to the right. Okay. Coming from open and close. Brush knee. Play the loop. Parry punch. Lock and close. Push the tiger. To the front. Open, close. Brush knee. Play the loop. Carry punch. Lock and close. Push the tiger. Open, close. Close it out. I don't embarrass easily, but I embarrassed myself. That mirror image throws my brain for a loop. All right, one more time. Advance 6, left and to the right. Coming from open and close. Thinking about that core. And brush knee. Dear Lord, I don't need to think about anything else. I just need to worry about what I'm doing. Play the loop. Carry punch. Lock and close. Push the tiger. Open, close. Brush knee. Play the loop. Carry punch. Lock and close. Push the tiger. Open, close. Close it out. The more we do that movement or the advanced movements, the shorter it seems to get. Because we know it better. It's not as overwhelming. Are y'all experiencing that?
Yes.
Good. Good. That's real good. I feel like
It
it's like,
flows
oh,
better.
ma'am.
It flows better.
Yeah, that's our goal. And the more we practice that, the better we get at it. And that's why I isolated our advanced movements. Not because apparently my brain couldn't handle all of it. No, it didn't have anything to do with that. But that's why I just isolated our advanced movements, took out our basic, because we are a lot more practiced in our basic movements. And we want to get completely there with our advanced. So let's do it again. We'll put it together with our basic, and then we'll visit our part 2 movements and play around with those movements some more. All right, so just our advanced 6. Going to the left first and then for the right, starting with an open and close. Brush knee. Play the loop. Carry punch. Lock and close. Push the tiger. Open, close. Brush knee.
Oh, okay.
Play the loop. Carry punch. Lock and close. Push the tiger. To the front. Open, close.
close it out. Now, I always say to the front like it's a movement. It's not actually one of our movements. I just think they should give more respect to that transition. So that to the front is that transition. All right, so from the top, basic 6 and advanced 6 together. And commence. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open, close. Advanced 6. Brush knee. Play the loop. Hairy punch. Lock and close. Push the tiger. To the front. Open, close. Close it out. Very good. Part 2 starts with brush knee to the right. Brush knee, leisurely tie the coat, open and close. Step back, single whip. That's where we're headed. So we know brush knee. We know open and close. We know single whip because we step forward, push, turn, separate. Eyes follow the hand opposite of the foot that steps out. We know that single whip. Step back, single whip follows the same rule, except guess what? You step back instead of step front. So it's step back, push, turn, separate, and your eyes follow the hand opposite of the foot that steps. So we're comforted in knowing we have an idea of what goes on in part 2. And then they throw some new things at us like leisurely tie the coat. So let's start with our brush knee to the right. I like to start with the open and close. That's coming from the end of part 1. Brush knee to the right. All right, so this starts us with our leisurely tie the coat that we started last week. We're going to step back left, and our left hand is going to come down as that left foot steps back. That left hand comes down to the hip, okay? So it's like it's connected down. At the same time that that left foot steps back and left hand comes down, our right hand karate chops, right? So here's the end of brush knee. Our weight is on our right leg. We step back left, karate chop right. And we know when we step in Tai Chi, it's an empty step. So we don't immediately give it weight to that left foot, the one we just stepped. But what we're going to do with that karate chop hand is bring it to our belt buckle. And as we bring it to that belt buckle, we shift the weight to that left leg. 3 fingers of our left hand goes on our wrist. And when that happens, we follow step right.
Okay, so that's the beginning of leisurely tie the coat. So at the end of brush knee, weights on our right foot, step back left, karate chop right. Shift left as we come to our belt buckle, 3 fingers, follow step right. So these 3 fingers are on our wrist, like we're checking our pulse. Comes down and follow step 3 fingers. So now our weight's on our left leg, because we just follow step right. When we follow step, we don't immediately give it weight. When we follow step, that's our next step. So we're gonna, before we do any kind of stepping or shifting weight, we zip up our coat. So our 3 fingers are on our wrist, down here by our belt buckle. Zip it up. And it's a belt buckle only if you're wearing hip hugger jeans. If you're wearing high waist jeans, it's not at your belt buckle. It's down here at your hips, right here, below your belly button, and then you zip it up. So when you zip it up, remember not holding tension in your shoulders, because it would be easy to pull those shoulders up alongside the zip. So keep your shoulders relaxed as you zip up your jacket or coat. It's a coat, not a jacket. All right, so at the end of brush knee, we're here. Step back left, karate chop right. Shift left as you come to your belt buckle. Follow step right, 3 fingers. Zip it up. Now we're ready to step. We step right, and as we shift right, we offer this like it's a pie. Follow step left. Being conscious of keeping an upright posture, anytime we're shifting weight forward, there's that tendency to want to lean. Just remind yourself to stay upright as you shift forward, offering that pie. All right, so back to the top. End of brush knee. Step back left, karate chop right. Shift left, come to that belt buckle, 3 fingers, follow step right. Zip it up. Step right, shift as I offer that pie, follow step left. All right, do that again. End of brush knee. Weights on our right foot. Step back left, karate chop right. Shift left as that right hand comes to our belt buckle, 3 fingers. Follow step right. Zip it up. Step right. Shift and offer. Follow step left. All right, let's do that without me talking. Let's see if we can get that. The end of brush knee. Leisurely tie the coat. So in my head, I'm saying all those words that I've been talking out loud, like step back left, karate chop right. Shift left to the belt buckle. Follow step 3 fingers. Zip it up. Step right. Shift as I offer. Follow step left. Those are the words that are going through in my head. Let's do it without the words. Put the words in your head. Here we go. Leisurely tie the coat. All right, we're ready to move. So we just shifted right, offered the pie, follow step left. They don't want our pie. Our follow step foot is our next step, right? So we step back left, shift left. And that right toe popped up when I shifted. Step back left, shift. So I'm keeping my arms extended whenever I shift or step left, step back left, shift left, and that right toe pops up. Because I'm going to bring that pie around, turn that hand, and when I turn that hand, my finger goes from on my wrist, comes around, and when I turn my hand, my 3 fingers end up on the back of my hand or the back of my wrist. And that's going to give me more leverage to deliver that pie. So I was holding the pie, they don't want it. So I'm bringing it around and throwing the pie in their face. And so that helps give me a little more oomph to my throw the pie in their face. All right. So at the end of brush knee, leisurely tie the coat. Step back, karate chop right. Shift, follow step 3 fingers. Zip it up. Step right, shift as I offer, follow step left. Step back left, shift, bring that pie around. Now I'm going to shift right as I deliver that pie and follow step left. So the movements in our advanced 6 should help this movement become very comfortable. Because don't we do that in our advanced 6? We do a lot of step, shift, follow step, step back, shift, follow step, or step, shift, follow step, step, shift. And then this time that's a little different. But then we shift, follow step. So the comfort of you step, shift, follow step came from advanced 6, so it should make this one feel more comfortable. Does that mean you're doing it perfect? No, and that's okay. But get these words in your head as we do 400 things in leisurely tie the coat, karate chopping, zipping coats, offering pies, throwing pies in faces, all that in one move. End of brush knee, leisurely tie the coat. You may ask me, because I don't think I said it. Are you supposed to watch your pie come around? Yes. Watch that pie come around. And then when you're ready to deliver it, then your eyes are forward. Also, if you can make it happen, I don't know why I fail at this so bad, but if that toe, when that toe pops up after you shift that weight to the left foot before you come around, if you can make that right toe follow with your hand, that's what we're supposed to be doing. For some reason, sometimes my foot forgets to move. So that's our goal, is pop it up, bring it around, shift, follow step. So we're home free now. We're going to the front. Step, shift, step, hands face, open and close. So that feels a lot like push the tiger and then come to the front, hands face, open and close. So the end of our advanced 6, that has that similarity to it at the end of our leisurely tie the coat. So we bring it to the front, open, close. Step back, single whip. We shift right, step back left. And you can play around with your angle, play around with the amount of space when you step back to where it feels most comfortable, especially to your right knee. If you have any problems with your knee, the spacing may need to be adjusted. After you've stepped back, adjust weight. So now there's weight on both legs. We push our hands out, turn them away from us, separate our eyes, follow that right hand. Hand opposite of the foot that stepped back. So that's step back, single whip. All right, let's go from the top. The top as in part 2. Brush knee to the right. Leisurely tie the coat. Step back left, karate chop right. Shift, follow step 3 fingers. Zip it up. Step right, shift offer, follow step left. Step back left, shift, bring that pie around. Shift right as I deliver, follow step left to the front. Step, shift, step, adjust weight, hands face, open and close. Step back, single whip. Shift right, step back left, push, turn, separate, eyes follow that right hand. How's that?
Okay.
You like leisurely tie the coat?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's fun. This part 2 feels really like a dance. When you start, coming around, that smoothness of bringing that pie around and deliver, it really does start feeling like a dance. All right, let's go through it again. Part 2, starting with an open and close. Brush knee. Leisurely tie the coat. Open close. Step back, single whip. Close it out. One more time, then we're going to put it together from the tippity top. Gosh, time flies. All right. From the top of part 2, then we're going to go all the way through part 1 and part 2 of what we know. Open and close. Brush knee. Leisurely tie the coat. Open, close. Step back, single whip. Close it out. So when I'm doing this move, I'm trying to kind of pause at each of those transition moments for you to realize where we are and then where we need to go next. And then we'll work on smoothing all that out. We always learn in a choppy way and then gradually make it more smooth. Just like reading. All right, so from the very top of part 1, and let's go all the way to step back, single whip. And commence. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open, close. Advance 6. Brush knee to the left. Play the loop. Carry punch. Block and close. Push the tiger. Open, close. Brush knee. Play the loop. Carry punch. Block and close. Push the tiger. Open, close. Part 2. Brush knee. Leisurely tie the coat. Open, close. Step back, single whip. Close it out. How about that? Next move that we'll learn, we'll go over next week, is fist under elbow. And this is what it looks like from the back. We have our step back, single whip. Fist under elbow. Shift. Turn. Shift. Step. Shift. And follow step. So we end up with our fist under our elbow, but you see it's not under my elbow. I would get tension in my shoulder when I go under it. So it's misnamed a little bit. What it means is under the plane of the elbow. So I'm here when I end, which is under the plane, but not under my elbow. So I think that's confusing, but nobody asked me when they named it. So that's what we'll get into next week with our part 2 movements as we learn and grow. Always remember, if there's anything that you just want to focus on and go over, I mean, we can break these down so much. Y'all just let me know what you need and we can do that. And it's always a good learning experience to break it down. I like to push you, but before you're comfortable with a movement, I like to push you past it and then come back and revisit it. So if you feel like, it's so many new things, we'll come back to it. I like to also get us to places of comfort. So push you past, leisurely tie the coat to go, oh, see, we're going to open and close. Oh, see, we're going to just step back, single whip. We're familiar with this. I'm just gathering tension and letting it go, reminding ourselves that we do not want to live with tension. Notice it and let it go. Big shoulder circle, great one to practice breath. I love what Lance shared from Tiffany is inhaling our blessings, exhaling any fears that we have, any worries that we have. Inhale calm and exhale any stress. Or inhale ease and exhale that stress. We have mirror image, our right fist representing our strength, our left fingers together representing our friendship, and our thumb, our humility. So strength, friendship, and humility, we put those together, and in mutual respect, we say namaste. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm going to go back and watch this video, and I want to see for myself my visible brain fart.
It's okay.
Good
It's
Lord,
okay.
my brain completely went blank. That's wild how our brains will do us, won't it? Well, I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend. I look
too.
forward to this class probably more than any class because it's a chance to push past what everybody else is doing.
Yes,
That's all valuable too, but it's nice to be able to experience more with y'all, not just by myself. So thank y'all for being here.
Thank
Enjoy
you.
your family, your time together.
Thank
Yes.
you. I'll report back that it was as wonderful as I expected next week, right?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Y'all take care. Let me know if you need something, okay?
All right.
Love
Have a
y'all.
blessed week. Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.